18 months ago, Middlesbrough Football Club was history. The doors locked, sine die. Aston Park didn't have a future. The memories just a painful reminder of what used to be one of football's most noble establishments. The Souness era was 10 years ago. Debts were mounting, and by 1986, they'd reached a crippling £2 million. But under Bruce Rioch's tactful management and shrewd behind-the-scenes administration, Middlesbrough is once again a football town, and a proud one too. The team of today, young, successful, disciplined. Promotion for the second year running, a distinct possibility. For Graham Taylor's Aston Villa, it's more of a probability. The second division leaders have got the best away record in the league. They've only lost once away from home all season, winning 11 times.
Oh, well played, because Daly sent space, in comes Thompson.
And how good it is to see Aston Park with a 20,000 or so gate way above average on an afternoon that's really brightening up here on Teesside. It's the first live Barclays second division match on ITV, and one which is so fundamental to Middlesbrough's hopes of playing first division football next season. That goes for Villa as well, but it must be said, defeat this afternoon will be more damaging for Middlesbrough, who are currently lying sixth and who have won only one of their last 7 in the league. Well, a very good afternoon, and one gets the impression that those 3 recent cup games against Everton too have given everyone a real impetus to go all out for promotion. A very strong feeling here about that at Aston Park today. Well, our studio guest, a former Middlesbrough manager, he's going to go to the European Championships as manager of ARA in the summer. Sort of local lad made good. Jack Charlton, welcome, Jack. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable that we're here when you consider the state of Middlesbrough Football Club 18 months ago.
Well, I came here from, when I left Sheffield Wednesday, I came here for 3 months when Malcolm left. And they were in a lot of financial trouble then, and then it got worse. And then Willie Madden, who was the manager then, had a long, sticky period for a year or so. And then all of a sudden things changed. You know, Colin Henderson got involved, they got Bruce Rioch, and suddenly things start to pick up here at Middlesbrough, and they've gone from a little bit better all the time. I mean, the games against Everton did them a world of good, 3 lovely games,
yes.
Nice big crowds, and the fact that you're covering the game today, you know, is something, a Villa.
That's right, it's attracted live television, which is
right.
Great. Now, there is a super atmosphere, about 20,000. Do you think they're in for a treat?
Oh, I think it'll be a cracking game. But Middlesbrough need to win this one. It's they need the 3 points, so Middlesbrough will go all out to win it. Villa, I haven't seen a great deal of this year, but what I have seen of them, you know, they don't play a defensive type of game either. And they'll throw the ball forward the way Graham would want them to play it. They'll throw the ball forward very often, they'll back it up, they'll get in the box as often as they can, so I think we're in for a cracker, yeah.
Jack, thanks very much. Well, of course, Aston Villa appeared on the big match live 2 weeks ago against Liverpool, a better-known team of individuals. So let's meet some of the Middlesbrough players who've helped to guide the club from Division 3 into the second division promotion race this season. Our match commentator is Alan Parry.
And the jewel in Middlesbrough's crown is Gary Pallister, a real footballing centre-back, very reminiscent of Alan Hansen in his early days at Liverpool, and there's no higher compliment than that. Borough could make a fortune by selling him tomorrow, but they say he's not for sale. The same applies to skipper Tony Mowbray, a real old-fashioned centre-half. A lot of character this man has got, and look at that face, straight from a 1950s cigarette card, isn't he? Bernie Slaven is Borough's leading scorer with 18 goals, and that includes 2 hat-tricks. He's a Scotsman, good on the ball, and likes to take defenders on. But really, Middlesbrough's strength is their defence, starting with goalkeeper Stephen Pears, who used to be understudy to Gary Bailey at Manchester United, then built around those massive central defenders, Pallister and Mowbray. They play 4 in midfield, including the former Villa man, Dean Glover, and there's another ex-Villa player, Paul Kerr, who partners Slaven up front. Aston Villa come here as leaders of the second division, and their side really strength down the middle, like every successful team. Nigel Spink is in great form at the moment. A very good partnership of Alan Evans and Martin Keown in the middle of their defence. In the midfield, there's plenty of pace and industry. Birch on the right, Daly on the left. And up front, Alan McInally and Gary Thompson, 2 muscular 6-footers you wouldn't fancy bumping into on a dark night. Martin Keown, now a regular in the England under-21 team, and enjoying the kind of form that really suggests that he's a man with a very bright future indeed. Andy Gray, one of the bargain buys of the season, just £125,000 from Crystal Palace. Quick and very competitive. Referee Keith Hackett, one of the best, an imposing six-footer. Not many players argue with him. So it's Aston Villa in their change strip of light blue shirts and maroon shorts who kick off, attacking from right to left. And Middlesbrough, the club which literally came back from the dead, is really relishing this chance to show the nation that they're alive and well and ready for a future in the First Division. That was Ripley's header. Keown. Middlesbrough have been beaten only once at home. Aston Villa have lost only once away. It really is the match of the season so far in the Second Division. Ripley again. And he gets the corner. This is going to be an early problem for Aston Villa because Middlesbrough are very effective from corners. Pallister and Mowbray, those two big central defenders, really attack the ball. Hamilton with the kick. Pallister was the target, and it was Mowbray who reached it behind him. Tony Mowbray, this inspirational captain, just 24, a local lad, and Middlesbrough to his bootlaces. Also alongside me here today, Ian St John. Ian, I know you saw Middlesbrough play at Everton in midweek. How do you assess them?
Well, a very, very good workmanlike side. In fact, we've had a look at both these teams playing against top-class opposition, Liverpool and Everton, in recent weeks, and I would say that I thought Middlesbrough handled it a little bit better. You know, I feel that they went at the First Division teams and put them off a stride. So I would think today they'll be looking to do the same thing against the Villa.
Kerr in ahead of Gallagher. Slaven. And that's Cooper. Glover. Andy Gray across, and he commits the foul. Pitch, as you'd expect in a week when we've had so much heavy rain, is wet and slippery, but otherwise in very good condition. And a terrific atmosphere. Real flat caps and Bovril ground this. A throwback to the old days. Gage's clearance. Slaven. Ripley is in the centre. It was a good effort. Oh, superbly saved. Hamilton's shot turned away by Spink. A bright opening for Middlesbrough.
Was a good little effort. There's a nice layoff, Alan, by Ripley. Lovely volley. And a fine save.
Spink, superb. With Mowbray flying in at him like that, Spink's handling had to be immaculate, and it was. He's in the best form of his career, Nigel Spink, and it's his testimonial season as well. McInally's header. Birch. Thompson. Pallister got there first. And indeed, the ball went off Thompson. He's looking a bit disgusted with the decision, but I think the linesman was right. Cooper. Keown beating Kerr. And again. Ripley now. Got Parkinson overlapping. Alan Evans so quick to see the danger. Parkinson again. And Evans there to clear. Now Morley. Daily Morley. They used to have a very famous left winger, of course, Paul Morley, in the days when Aston Villa were league champions and European champions. Willis, back from Parkinson. Keown. And now Mowbray. Good layoff from Hamilton. Slaven. Kerr and Hamilton in the middle for him. This is Cooper. Kerr. Slaven. Well, certainly in St John, Middlesbrough, who know they've really got to win today. They're 6th in the table, 8 points behind Aston Villa, and they've only won a couple of their last 9 league games. They've made a bright start, the home team.
They have made a bright start, but Aston Villa, away from home, have a tremendous record, and they play it very tight to Villa, you know, and then they catch you on the break. And I think, you know, the Middlesbrough boys have got to be very careful. But the good thing, of course, is that the centre-backs are their strength. You know, so it'll be an interesting battle today to see how the two big fellas up the front for Villa cope with the two centre-backs.
Laws. Middlesbrough's ball. Very competitive player, Gray. Slaven held it off well then. This is Cooper. Birch with him. Well, he dwelt a little too long on the ball and McInally was in. And that's why Pallister is so highly rated. He waited for the attacking player to commit himself, and his timing and positioning was ideal. McInally will have a hard battle against him today. Gallagher. And Pallister there again. Gray for Villa. Straight to Slaven. And this is Hamilton. Thompson. Cooper right behind him. It's a good-looking ball in towards Daly, but Mowbray was very quick. Ripley. And this is Slaven. Kerr wanting it inside the penalty area. And it wasn't a bad effort. Paul Kerr, who scored the winner at Aston Villa when these two sides met in the league back in September. Kerr's flick. Evans. Pallister. This is Hamilton. Really needs somebody to get it down and play. Borough have a free kick. Mowbray finding Kerr. Lillis and Evans get it clear, but only just. Kerr did well. No, just failed to keep it in.
Mowbray's coming up, backing up the attack, Alan, you know, for all the set pieces. And he's such a big, commanding type of player. You know, that he's going to be a real handful in the Aston Villa box this afternoon.
Wasn't a very good kick by Spink. Glover who met it. Ripley up well. This is Kerr. Plenty of time for Gray. Birch on the right. Now McInally. And Gage. Evans pumping it forward, looking for McInally. It's a good header. He found Birch. Very quick, Daly. Gallagher. Good clearance from Hamilton. This is Kerr. Ripley takes over. But Gray again reading the situation. Well, if you've just come in from the local, 10 minutes gone here in this top of the table match between Middlesbrough and Aston Villa. Still 0-0. Keown read it and obviously heard the shout from his goalkeeper. Mowbray. Birch for Villa. Thompson beaten by Pallister. Here's Kerr. Glover doing well. Cooper. Hamilton outside him and Slaven in a good forward position here. Good tackle from Gage. And Evans did well because he had nowhere to go really. Slaven again. And Cooper. Ripley's header. The Laws didn't realise he had it. And now Daly. Got Thompson and McInally in the centre and Birch arriving, but he just went a step too far in the end. Tony Daly, the type of player who excites crowds, but sometimes perhaps he should deliver the ball a little bit quicker, and maybe that was one of those occasions. Good header from Ripley then. McInally winning it. Thompson. Birch. This is Gage. Birch again. In towards Thompson. A difficult one here for the keeper. And nobody knew where it was. And the referee, in fact, has given the free kick for the foul on the goalkeeper, who I think might have got a crack on the head, because Pallister has immediately called to the Middlesbrough bench. And the physio, Tommy Johnson's coming in.
Well, it'll be interesting to have a look at this. Thompson feels that he didn't foul going in there. Now, he certainly caught him with his elbow, but you know, I think forwards should be allowed to go in and compete for the ball. I mean, the goalkeeper's coming out, it's a 50-50 ball, and you always get a foul against the attacking player. I think he caught him all right with his elbow, but I'm sure it was accidental.
Well, having seen some of the things Ian St John did to goalkeepers in his career, I'll take that with a pinch of salt, but I do agree. I think there's a school of thought that goalkeepers tend to be overprotected. But clearly this is a bad knock, because it looks as though the Middlesbrough players are calling for a stretcher, and even their manager Bruce Rioch is coming onto the field, and you can see the blood, and I'm sure you'll see it even more when he turns towards the camera.
Well, you were saying about when I played, I mean, you could go in then and challenge goalkeepers, and it was the accepted thing, that if the ball was up in the air, it was a free ball, and you both went for it. So, you know, I do feel that they are overprotected, but in this case, yes, I think the referee probably was right to stop it. The fact that the goalkeeper got the blow.
This is from the other side of the ground, in fact, giving us a new perspective of that, and painful whichever direction you look at it from, I think. And he's going off. It's, I think, possibly a temporary measure. He may need stitches in that gash over his eye. Well, no, he's gone down the tunnel, so it looks as though Middlesbrough are going to have to make their mind up as to whether they change their keeper, and clearly that's what they're going to have to do. And it looks as if the young fullback, Colin Cooper, is the man with the job. And yes, he's got the gloves on. He could do with a green jersey as well.
That might confuse everybody if he doesn't get the jersey on, eh?
Well, what an eventful start then, and what a misfortune for Middlesbrough.
I'm sure you're right, Alan. I think the goalkeeper has gone off, probably to get a stitch or two in his eye.
So, an unexpected television debut between the posts for this young man, Colin Cooper. One of the many local players here, half the team's local. It's been said before that they're almost like a local team in the strictest sense of the word. They're all great friends, they're all young lads. The average age is 23.
They've certainly taken the time finding the jersey, quite rightly so, because the longer the sub-goalkeeper is in there, Alan, obviously, the more dangerous it is for them.
And I've just heard from the dressing room area that the cut is a pretty deep one over Per's eye, and he needs stitches immediately. So I suppose there's a dilemma here, Ian St John, for Middlesbrough. Do they take the risk that he's going to be okay to come back, or do they decide now, whoops, we don't want that kind of thing on a Sunday? Do they decide now to make a substitution?
I think the goalkeeper will come back, Alan. It's had it been an outfield player, the manager might have said, fine, we'll bring a sub on, but not with the goalkeeper. It's a key position, and you couldn't play the remainder of this game with a stand-in goalkeeper.
Well, it's a competitive match, and Aston Villa will have no sympathy with the fact that Colin Cooper is a standing goalkeeper, and I'm quite sure they will try their utmost to test him at the earliest opportunity. He can certainly kick the ball well. Evans for Villa. McInally won it. Away by Hamilton. Keown in. Mowbray away. Good skill from Ripley. And indeed the free kick has been given. He was fouled by Daly. Well, I suppose the best way for Middlesbrough to protect their standing goalkeeper is to attack. The crowd are going to cheer everything Cooper does now. Here's Ripley. Slavin in the middle. And Gallagher did well then. He could easily have committed himself. But Borough have another corner. Alistair has gone to the near post. There he is, just dodging to find a good position. It was well won by Thompson. And again Thompson, this time it's Daly. Lillis forward. Gallagher. McInally chasing. Alistair's right behind him. Play on, says the referee. Daly crosses away from Mowbray. This is Lillis though, and Gray. Laws with the tackle. Ripley. Got himself in a tangle then. There's a fine ball from Gallagher to Daly. He couldn't keep it in play. To the huge delight of the FullGame end, where most of the Middlesbrough supporters are gathered.
I think the Villa have got to get that ball out wide, knock a few high ones in there, and really test Cooper.
We understand from the Middlesbrough dressing room that they expect to have Stephen Pears, who's their real goalkeeper, with due respect to this young man Colin Cooper, back on the field in 2 or 3 minutes. Not a moment too soon, will Colin Cooper be saying. There's Keown for Villa. Can they use this 2 or 3 minutes to good effect? Gallagher. Mowbray. And on from Glover. Keown won it. Laws, but straight to Gage. It's a good ball for McInally. Hamilton. That's a Middlesbrough throw. Gage forward. Good clearance from Glover. 20 minutes gone. Still Middlesbrough nil, Aston Villa nil. Middlesbrough down to 10 men, and they have their fullback, Cooper, playing in goal, with Pears having been injured. Mowbray, the Borough captain. Ripley up well to Slaven. Huge cheers from the crowd because they've seen Stephen Pears re-emerging from the tunnel as Laws has the ball. Good effort! Slaven! Oh, how did Spink save that? And Slaven will be saying, how did I miss that?
Well, that's a chance of the match so far. Terrific work by Laws. And a shot that got a slight deflection there. Spink only knocked out. And it was here that we all felt that Slaven should probably just have knocked it in the corner.
It was, though, a terrific piece of goalkeeping from Spink. And the other goalkeeper, Stephen Pears, is back in his rightful place. So Cooper's gone back to left back. And after all that, it's a corner again. Mowbray up well. Ripley. Keown got it clear. And then Evans, and that's a goal kick. Well, there's the rather gruesome damage, and he's had 7 stitches in that gash above his right eye. Gage forward for Aston Villa. This is Laws. Gage intercepted well. Gallagher, the young Scotsman. And Daly. Thompson. The referee has given an indirect free kick for obstruction by Tony Mowbray on Gary Thompson. Keown has come forward, and Alan Evans, the 2 Villa centre-backs. Evans is 5, Keown is 6, and Pears is apprehensive. Evans, it was a fine effort. McInally, in fact, on that far post, who finally got the header in. Slaven. Well, that was a foul, but the referee has said play on. And, well, that's the way it goes with the advantage rule. I'm sure the referee did the right thing, but Middlesbrough just couldn't take advantage of it. Good header from Pallister. Now Birch. Mowbray clear. This is Gray for Aston Villa. Brought down by Hamilton. Villa's free kick. Once again in the Middlesbrough penalty area. Villa have all their big men. McInally, Thompson, Evans and Keown. And they win a corner. Villa's first of the match. Goalkeeper was very grateful he had the defenders in front of him to get the ball away. There's an interesting break on here for Borough. Hamilton has got Ripley with him. What a superb challenge it was, though. Lillis really did save Villa then, because Middlesbrough suddenly, on the break, from defending a corner, had 3 players against just 2 defenders. Slaven. And here he is again. Mowbray. Kerr. This is Ripley. Slaven. Glover challenged Gray, and it was a bit of a 2-footed challenge as well. Mr. Hackett quite right then. Kevin Gage. Aston Villa with the best away record in all 4 divisions of the league. They've won 11 of their 15 matches away from home. An incredible record. "26 minutes gone in this first half, and we wait for the first goal of the game." Lillis for Aston Villa. Laws finding Kerr, and now Slaven. Ripley, Gallagher holding his ground. Oh, well, that was literally inches away from falling into the path of Kerr. But you have to give credit to the 20-year-old, because he measured it to perfection as it happened.
I'd say he was a lucky boy, Alan. Never mind measured to perfection. That was a very, very careless back pass.
Here's Birch. McAnally. Thompson in the centre as well, and Daly arriving on the far post. A disappointing effort.
You can see how Aston Villa have set their pattern now. They do soak up a lot of pressure, and then bang, you know, they hit you on the break. And McAnally, who I think is a fine player, big strong boy, and Thompson up there. If Villa can get the ball up to him quickly enough, you know, we could see a goal.
Thompson chasing with Mowbray here. Good defending again by this man. An exceptional player and an exceptional man is how his manager Bruce Rioch describes him. Gallagher. Markinson. And now Ripley. Slaven getting away from defenders well and getting into some good positions. As Gray clears for Aston Villa. Gallagher. It's a good ball. Gray. Birch out on the right. Gage in support. McAnally. And Birch. A lot of men in the box here. Well, perhaps he would have been better with the cross rather than the shot, because there were 3 Villa players lining up in expectancy of a cross. Ripley for Borough. That's a Villa throw.
Doing a lot of good work up this right-hand side of the field, Stuart Ripley.
McAnally. He's looking for Birch on the far side. It was well read by the young defender. What a good, determined run that was by Cooper. Fine skill from Gray. And Cooper was determined enough to win the ball again. I wonder what kind of a goalkeeper he might have made. He's a very good defender.
Well, he's got a clean sheet anyway as a goalkeeper.
He has, hasn't he? Good quiz question. Parkinson. Didn't really want it there. It was a difficult position for the defender, but he's won the throw. Off Thompson. Lillis. Mowbray away. 15 minutes to half-time. Kerr for Middlesbrough. Cooper. And that's Hamilton. Well, he overhit it, Cooper. I was mentioning Aston Villa's away record before. Middlesbrough have an excellent home record. They've won 10, drawn 3 and lost just once against Swindon back in September. Thompson's header finding McAnally. Good challenge from Pallister. Slaven. Laws. And now Mowbray. Mowbray again. Ripley, that was a good header. He finds Kerr. Parkinson. Good ball. Slaven. Kerr and Hamilton in the middle, and Glover arriving. I'm not quite sure why the Middlesbrough fans were screaming then, but whatever it was, the referee wasn't impressed by the appeal. And Parkinson goes forward again and wins the corner. A feeling then, I think, that the Middlesbrough man was obstructed on the edge of the penalty area, and that's why the crowd were angry. But it's a Borough corner. Tried it short this time to Kerr, and back to Hamilton it goes. And still Hamilton. Evans away, Hamilton again. Good effort from Laws. Well, Hamilton was very persistent on the right-hand side there for Middlesbrough. When the cross was headed clear, it dropped for Laws, who can really strike a ball, and was just wide. McAnally saying that Borough man had backed into him, but you've got to be careful not to argue too much. He got himself sent off when these two met earlier this season. The World Cup tie. He comes to Kerr. Laws again. But this time he was right underneath it. Still not a bad effort. And Middlesbrough have had the better scoring opportunities, certainly, of this first half so far.
They're certainly creating one or two opportunities, Alan, but, you know, you get the feeling that they badly need to get a goal, because the longer this game goes on, the more I feel, anyway, that Villa could maybe just catch them, because that's the way to play.
Here's Slaven now for Middlesbrough. Trying to set Hamilton away, but Gage had anticipated it. Given away by Glover. Gray. McAnally. This is Lillis. Daly on the left. Looked like obstruction to me from Parkinson, but Mr. Hackett didn't agree. Kerr's mistake. Well, here he is again. Pursued by Evans. Good play from Kerr. Cooper. Wonderful atmosphere when Borough pour forward. Is that handball? No. Gage got away with it anyway. Wasn't a bad clearance, was it? Thompson. Oh, he's beaten Mowbray. McInally in the middle, and Daly. Danger here. And Daly has put the finishing touch to that superb Thompson run. And Aston Villa are in front.
Well, I had the feeling, Alan, that this might just happen. But full marks to Thompson here. Very powerful run. Under pressure there from Mowbray, but he held him off, kept his balance, took it to the line, and a little cut back there. Thank you very much.
He's big and he's strong. So is Mowbray, of course, but Thompson proved the more determined then. And it was a cross any striker would love to be on the end of. Tony Daly's second goal of the season then has given the second division leaders Aston Villa a vital lead 10 minutes before half-time. Ripley, Gallagher in. McInally to Thompson, and again. And another strong run here, this time by the Scotsman. The tackle from Laws was a good one, and Pears and Cooper almost got themselves into a spot of confusion then. But back come Borough. They're a goal down. Slaven. Laws. Hamilton chasing here. And I must say, I am impressed by the form of Andy Gray. He covers an enormous amount of ground. Very quick, always able to spot danger. Mowbray, who must have been disappointed at being shaken aside by Gary Thompson in the run which led to Villa's goal.
Well, if he has a weakness, Alan, I do think it's his pace. You know, McInally ran past him there as well, and I mean, he's such a solid big player, but just a shade, you know, slow.
Ripley now from Middlesbrough. Parkinson. It was disappointing that it ended that way for Middlesbrough because they had 4 players in the penalty area. But from the other side of the ground, we can see exactly how well Thompson did here, because it was it was like 100 metres, wasn't it? They both had the same start, but Thompson was quicker, determined and strong. Mowbray daren't challenge him then, because there would have been a danger of a penalty, of course, and Daly said, thank you. Seven minutes to half-time. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Villa have shown many of the qualities that have taken them to the leadership of the second division, where they're a point ahead of Blackburn Rovers on 66 points with 12 games left after today. Mowbray headed that away under pressure from McInally, and indeed the free kick has been given to the home side. Ripley up well. Evans. This is Parkinson for Borough. Laws. Kerr. Evans was right behind him though, and Lillis sweeping up. A thoughtful looking Graham Taylor, second from the right there, with his assistant John Ward in the blue tracksuit top on the Villa bench. Alistair's header. Gage for Villa. And Middlesbrough really do know that they can't afford defeat today, because their recent league form anyway has been a bit rocky. They led the table before Christmas, but then they had away defeats at Leeds and Oldham and Millwall, and they've slipped dangerously behind. They've got to win today. Here's Laws. Middlesbrough a goal down. Hamilton finding Slaven. He hit it straight at Evans. Villa as ever so dangerous on the counter-attack, but Thompson couldn't control it. And Borough really want this equaliser badly before half-time. 5 minutes to go. Oh, it's a bad kick, and it's the second time that Spinker's kicked the ball really flat. He's got away with it each time. Gallagher forward. Alistair's header. Daly is there for Villa. Parkinson beat him, and now Gallagher. McInally. Ripley has Daly right behind him. Who's given it away? Thompson. And he's done the same. Laws now for Middlesbrough. Gage and Birch linking down the right, but not a good ball. Slaven up well, and was he fouled? Referee says no. Birch. It's an interesting one for McInally to chase. Alistair's ahead of him though. And how about that for coolness? And Thompson going in a little bit late on the keeper. So Mowbray brings Borough forward again and finds Kerr. Difficult ball then for Glover. Birch. Lillis. Ooh. Strong challenge, and Lillis is down injured. The play continues. Birch looking for Daly. Alistair is the defender. Now. Not very charitable at all. Alistair and Daly getting themselves in the spot of bother. Alistair obviously felt that Daly was all arms and legs and trying to wrestle him off the ball.
It was a best of three falls, that one, wasn't it? they both got tangled up, and we'll finish with a handshake. Here's the start of it. Oh, whoops. Thank you very much. A little elbow there by Pallister. And there you are. Mick McManus would have been proud of him.
Well, it all ends in handshakes, I'm glad to say. Birch for Villa. They lead by a goal to 0. And this is McInally. Birch again, beaten by Slaven though. Mowbray. Pallister climbing. Ooh, given away to Kerr. He's got Slaven with him. And for the second time in the match, Bernie Slaven will be very disappointed that he didn't find the target. Seemed to have taken a deflection anyway, because the referee is pointing for a corner. Kerr did well here, pulled it back beautifully, that little back heeler. Slaven slid it very precisely, and Spink must have got a touch. Mowbray. Well, there's a couple more sore heads now, because as Mowbray climbed then, he clashed heads with a Villa defender. You don't want any more stitches, please. Both the physiotherapists are in action now. But Ian St John, Bernie Slaven, he's had 2 good chances in this half.
Well, he certainly has. It's a pity both have fallen to him. And he's the leading goal scorer, so you'd expect him to stick him away. Initially, it was a bad mistake by Alan Evans. He gave the ball away. And really, you know, this is the thing about Middlesbrough this afternoon, Alan. They've created 1 or 2 chances, they've had opportunities, but they haven't, you know, done the necessary. They haven't put the chances in the back of the net.
So we're into time being added for stoppages in the first half. Another Borough corner. Alistair going in this time. Hamilton. Laws. No room for the shot. Ripley. Still the big men are in there. Mowbray, Hamilton, Alistair. The shot from Laws, again, was precise, but wide.
They probably deserved a goal in this first 45 minutes, Al, because, you know, they've had the bulk of the game. They've created chances, missed them. But on general play, you know, I think a draw would have been a fair result. But that's the way it goes. Villa caught them on the break.
So the half-time whistle approaches, and Villa leading by a goal to 0. Quite a bit of stoppage time, of course. We are on the clock over 45 minutes, but the lengthy injury to Pears and then Mowbray before will mean Mr. Hackett will have to add quite a bit. Well won by Hamilton. Slater. Slaven wriggling away from his defender, but that in fact is the end of the first half, and it sees Aston Villa going in with a 1-goal lead. Middlesbrough created more of the chances and had more of the attacking, but Aston Villa are a very effective counter-attacking team, as they've proved all season, and the goal from Tony Daly separates these sides. Bernie Slaven might have had a couple for Borough, and one thing's for certain, Borough will really come back at them in the second half. Half-time score, Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. We'll have more action from Urson Park and the views of Jackie Charlton right after the break.
It's the sensational Sun Price Busters catalogue, free this week only in the Sun. Unique low price offers plus Sun discount vouchers for super savings. You can save on fashion, save on fitness, save all over the home.
Amazing savings.
Free, the Sun Price Buster catalogue, only in the Sun. Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood, read how he saved the world's greatest rock band and play Sun Lotto.
I've done it, I've won it!
£30,000 or more to win every day. It's all in the Sun this week.
Use ordinary SP batteries for an hour each day, and after only about 10 days inside, they're out. Duracell batteries, however, will serve the full term over 30 days hard labor. Duracell, no ordinary battery looks like it or lasts like it.
Suppose you took a plane and made the legroom bigger, and made the seats wider, so you could spread yourself a bit. Then made the aisles wider, so you could go for a stroll. And put some proper tables in, so you had more space to do some work or have a meal. Then made the windows bigger. The result would look a bit like this. Your 740 to London. Nicer than your 747, we think. Intercity.
Dave, this is a bit much for a parking offence.
Well, never mind. We're on the stones.
This must be what they meant by the cooler. Fancy stones.
Fair's fair. You need a beer with real taste when you're doing 5 years.
Okay, you do. Time's up. You are free.
There's another 5.
Wherever you may wander, take home stones.
I was wondering, could you get someone to have a look at my phone? The line always seems to go fuzzy when I ring my daughter in Kent. You can't do anything till after the weekend. Oh, dear.
Replacing the country's old telephone system with a modern digital network is an immense job that'll take time to complete. But we're working on it, right round the clock.
I know. You sound like you're just down the road. Die. You wait all weekend, and what happens? It goes right all by itself.
British Telecom, it's you we answer to.
Monument Sports half-term special, 20% off all Capri ski jackets at Monument Sports. Prices start from only £29.99. Branches at Durham, Metro Centre, Middlesbrough, Newcastle and Washington. Get to the top of the league with a Ford from Jennings, suppliers of cars to the staff and players of Middlesbrough Football Club. Teamwork on the move from Jennings of Stockton, first for Ford in the North East.
Yes, just one goal here at Aston Park. Aston Villa getting it through Tony Daly after 35 minutes. No shortage of incidents and plenty of eventful topics for us to discuss, Jack. I mean, it's been a very good first 45 minutes.
Yeah, good 45 minutes. Two distinct teams playing different ways. Typical Graham Taylor team. Knock the ball into the centre forwards and pick up the drop-offs. And when you get the opportunity, don't mess about across midfield, play the ball in behind the full-backs, which is exactly the way the goal came. Long ball from the full-back, deliberately played for Thompson to come across, got a yard on Mobley, got round him, and the goal came from that.
All right, well, we'll look at that a little later, Jack. But, of course, Gary Thompson was involved in a rather controversial incident earlier on when he collided with Stephen Pears, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper.
Ian made a big point of it, actually, saying that he thought the competition should have been allowed. But when you watch him, you can't lead with your arm. And as he goes up here, he leads with his arm. He's really protecting himself rather than trying to hit the goalkeeper. Because if he's going to head the ball, he feels that if it comes over his arm, he'd get a header in. But it was a foul. I mean, you can't lead with your arm like that and get away with it. Well, the guy was protecting himself, really.
Not exactly in the spirit of Valentine's Day.
Well, you've got to have competition in the box. I completely agree with Ian on that point. When the ball's thrown up there, the goalkeepers are over.
Can we exonerate Gary Thompson in one respect? Do you believe he intended to injure Pears?
No, I think he was looking after himself, like I said.
Right, and Pears, of course, ended up with 7 stitches. Now, what about the goalkeeper at the other end?
He's my man of the match at the moment because he's made some tremendous saves. Bernie Slavin, unfortunately, has gone to pick his spot when he's had the opportunities to score goals. But in picking his spot here, he didn't give it enough on the ball. When it comes off and he picks it up here, he does very well, takes the ball inside the fullback. Now it's the time to really whack it. But he picks his spot, and he gave Spinks just enough time to react to the shot. If he had had a whack at that, he would have scored.
I've seen Aston Villa a few times, Jack, this season. Of course, talked to a lot of people as well. And I would think they would say that this is a very typical Aston Villa performance, soaking up a lot and then hitting on the break.
No, and Graham Taylor, exactly the way you would expect him to play. They don't put the ball at risk in bad areas. They don't play football when it's tight. Get it out. If it's tight, knock the ball up to the forward
The goal
players.
Being a classic example, really.
The ball came to a fullback, long ball in behind. Thompson, centre-backs like Mobley tend to get a little bit dreamy here, and the ball that's played in behind, he just let Thompson get away from him. He dares to tackle him here. Obviously, it was a penalty if he tackles. But the ball across, you see, the caught Middlesbrough, really everybody up. The boy here,
the other angle, Jack. Same incident. Yeah. The other angle.
But Mobley really shouldn't have let him get down the line that way.
But credit to Thompson, surely.
Oh, yeah, big, strong boy. But when he plays the ball here, Middlesbrough cope with so many people upfield. Daly on the far post has got nobody within 5 or 6 yards of him. And he just knocked it in. No challenge at all there. Right. All in all, that's probably the only chance, actually, Villa have had in this game. Although they've really put Mowbray and Pallister under a great deal of pressure, because keep knocking the balls up, the challenge for the ball on the centre-backs, and wherever the ball drops off, one of the midfield men are there to pick it up and then to go and play from there.
Jack, I could listen to you all day, but we have to take a commercial break right now. We'll talk again a little later on, but for now, from Aston Park, that sound like Jack. But for now, from Aston Park, we're going to take a little break.
There are lots of crazy bargains in Dickens' Mad sale. Twin pack loft insulation, £4.99. First alert smoke detector, £10.99. Thermostatic radiator valve, £6.99. Greenhouse insulation, 99 pence a metre. Shower curtains from £3.99. Vinyl flooring, £1 a linear foot. Colour roll for Dura-blown vinyl, £3.99 a roll. Leave the kids in our supervised play area. We're open till 8, Monday to Saturday at
Dickens, that's right.
For strength of flavour, you canna knock a can of McEwen's.
Mr. Ward? Yes? Ian Hubbard.
When somebody comes to sell you a pension, life assurance, or a mortgage, will they sell you one that suits you, or one that suits them? At Allied Dunbar, we promise we won't offer you any of our products until we've completed and analysed a thorough fact find.
I want to draw a salary from it.
So the first time we meet, don't expect us to sell you anything at all.
You'll need a generous length in the arm.
Allied Dunbar. Before we open our mouths, we open our ears.
It's me.
Oh, have you got it?
Certainly have.
Well, what's it like?
Terrific. It's got everything. Alloy wheels, sunroof, sports seats.
All right, but when will you be home?
That's why I'm calling. I'm stuck in the most horrendous traffic jam you could ever imagine.
Really? Well, I'll expect you when I see you then.
Could be hours.
Okay. Bye.
The new Cavalier LX from Vauxhall, around £8,750. Once driven, forever smitten.
It cannot easily be explained. It cannot be seen or heard. It cannot be touched, and yet it can mobilize the elements. It can harness nature and transform darkness at the speed of light. It is the most prolific form of energy known to man, a most efficient and versatile power we can command as our servant. It is electricity, energy for life.
On your marks, get set, go! The Great North Run comes under starters' orders on July the 24th. No other race generates more interest or has so many people wanting to run in it. So be quick off the mark. Get your official entry form only in the Journal on Monday, February the 15th. Don't miss your Journal this Monday.
Welcome back to Aston Park for the second half, just started, of this top-of-the-table second division match. Middlesbrough against Aston Villa, with Aston Villa leading by 1-0. The score of Tony Daly after 35 minutes. In the second half, Middlesbrough, wearing the red shirts and white shorts, are attacking from right to left. Incidentally, if you're a little confused about how the second division is going to end up at the end of the season, the first 2 teams will definitely be promoted to the first division. Then the teams in 3rd, 4th and 5th places will go into the playoffs. So plenty of incentive for all the chasing pack behind the leaders, Aston Villa. Birch. That's a corner. Number 5, Evans on the near post. Keown just in front of him. Gallagher will take the kick. Gray winning it, but it wouldn't fall where he wanted it. And here's an interesting break now. Ripley, Kerr to his left, Slaven to his right. This is Kerr. Oh, how close can you be? Well, well. It could have been, Ian, a very dramatic start to the second half for Borough.
Well, it should have been. I mean, Villa were certainly caught out. And it was a good attack. I mean, he did well getting the shot in. And it doesn't look as if it's going to be the Middlesbrough's day. That's a couple that's just trundled past the post.
Paul Kerr, who was so close then. But attacking that Holgate end in the second half. Borough will give it everything. Evans, very calm. All the experience of all those years in the game for Alan Evans, the only member of the Villa team who played in their championship side of 7 years ago. This is Gage for Aston Villa. Gage again forward. McAnally. Lillis in the centre and Daly. Slaven has beaten Evans, but Evans bit back. Wonderful noise, I must say. The atmosphere here in the northeast, whichever of the big grounds you go to, is always something special. It always takes you back to headier days. This is Pallister. Glover to Kerr. Keown stood his ground. Pallister up well. Here's Birch for Villa. Well, he ran straight into Cooper, who finds Kerr. Slaven had just come the wrong side of him then. If he'd stayed where he was, he would have had the ball.
Not quite in the same wavelength, and it's been quite noticeable today that Borough are not getting a hold of the ball when it gets played up front. You know, they're playing it there, and it's not quite sticking.
Cooper. Ripley was offside. Incidentally, the Middlesbrough doctor has been a busy man today. More stitches, not only the 7 over Stephen Kerr's eye, but Tony Mowbray, the skipper, had to have a couple on his wound on his head during the half-time interval. Thunderous challenge between Hamilton and Gage. McAnally. No foul. A good ball from Pallister to Kerr. Glover. Kerr again. What a good game he's had. Slaven, back to him. Laws moving forward in the centre-forward position here. And Ripley's in the box, but the cross was too close to Spink. But he's had a good game, Paul Kerr, today, Ian.
Yes, certainly working hard, and but I still like to see them get a hold of the ball a little bit better up front, both him and Benny Slaven.
McAnally doing well for Villa. Glover. Well, he says, look, I won the ball. But a free kick it is. Gage. Well, it was optimistic, but it might have caught the keeper by surprise. It didn't. Kevin Gage, incidentally, has the distinction of having scored goals in all 4 divisions of the Football League in his days at Wimbledon. And that's a fine ball by him to Thompson. Gray has a very effective long throw. Pallister clear. Gray again. Well, strangest shot of the season award, I think, for that one from Andy Gray. Glover to Slaven. Lillis won it back for Villa and was stern in the second challenge. Keown. Mowbray's header. This is Lillis. Very competitive side, Aston Villa. They don't shirk any tackles. And Lillis was fouled in that challenge. So McAnally and Daly can go forward for the free kick. Gallagher. McAnally, and he was using his elbow. Borough have taken it very quickly and given it away quickly. Good period of possession this for Aston Villa. The lead, remember, by a goal to 0. Evans hoiking it forward. Mowbray, and it falls to Birch.
Big Jack was making a point, Alan, at half-time about that particular ball where they knock it from the back, look for the 2 big fellas up the front, and again, you know, the other players then back up, and in that case, you know, Bitt's backing up Thompson and gets a shot in.
Well, Gray got a little kick on their head then. I suppose he'll describe it as little. He was having trouble controlling that bouncing ball, and Laws went in a bit high on him. Here's Birch. Gage. Birch again, industrious as ever down the right, and a good-looking ball towards Daly, but Pers did well. Gallagher. And the Borough roar fills the ground again. But they need a goal. Parkinson forward. This is Evans. Slaven is with him. Ten minutes gone in the second half. It's still Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Mowbray, the Borough captain. Glover. And Keown has looked very solid. Mowbray. Kerr. This is Laws. Good play. Ripley. Parkinson. Slaven in the penalty area, but he never had the opportunity to make the cross. Evans, the defender. Laws in a good position on the edge of the penalty area here, but they took a little bit too much time making up their mind then. It was slightly deflected, that cross from Ripley, and the deflection being off his own player, that means that Villa have a goal kick. Alistair, Lillis, and that was Cooper. Birch. And he just caught Cooper with his pace then. And they've taken the free kick quickly again, Villa. McAnally. Thompson coming into the middle. Well, he was inches away from contact. Still in play, Daly has it. Pers, well, he had to hold on to that. McAnally was right behind him. A slip would have meant a second goal. Here's Laws for Middlesbrough. That's a free kick. Both Pallister and Mowbray have gone forward for Parkinson's kick. Keown got it away to Hamilton. Mowbray forcing it through, but there's an offside flag. Referee's ignored it, in fact, or has he? No, he finally saw it through the crowd of players. Villa's free kick. Aston Villa, incidentally, lost 5-0 at home to Bradford back in November, and since then they've gone 13 league games without defeat, a record which has taken them to their lofty position in the second division, and taken Graham Taylor very close to the brink of success in his first season at Villa Park. Ripley's header. That's Slaven. And that's a foul. Parkinson's kick. Pallister getting in behind the Villa defence and has done well. And the header just cleared by Gray. It's Hamilton's header. This is Parkinson. Slaven on the right. Ripley chasing with Evans. And again, good determination by those Villa players. They weren't going to let that position go easily. Here's Birch. And this could be promising, because in the centre here are Thompson and McAnally. As the young fullback Gallagher comes forward. Gray. Now McAnally. Still a lot forward for Villa. Gage. McAnally. Thompson tried to get a foot in. Pallister did first, and still McAnally. Oh, it was very, very close to an own goal by Mowbray, who of course had the misfortune to put through his own net in the FA Cup tie at Everton in the week. And having been the player who was shaken off by Thompson for the Villa goal, that would have been very, very unlucky if he'd have seen that go in. McAnally doing well for Villa. Ooh, look at that. Nightmare time. Good header clear by Glover. This is Ripley. And Villa are looking more impressive in this second half. They're having a lot more of the ball. Gallagher.
He's a good little player, Bernard Gallagher. And you know, I've been wondering who he reminds me of, Alan. And very much like Tommy Craig. Remember little Tommy? And Gallagher's very like him in style.
I remember my granddad telling me about him, Ian, yeah. Here's Evans. McInally. Birch in, but he couldn't control it. Pallister could for Middlesbrough. Dangerous ball then by Glover. Gray doing well. Thompson. Back to Gallagher again. Now then, there could be something on here for Middlesbrough. Well, there could have been, because if Glover had looked forward instead of back, he had men in space. Ripley underneath it well. This is Kerr. Hamilton. Nobody wanted to take the responsibility then. Parkinson. Kerr climbing well, but Keown was in first. Now Mowbray. Kerr's there again. And Glover. Good tackle by Gage. Pallister. Firm header clear from Keown to McInally. Thompson is with him. And Birch free on the right. Showed it to Cooper. This is Gray. Looking for Thompson. Dangerous ball. Gallagher away. Well, the crowd were telling Parkinson that Thompson was behind him. Here's Laws. Slavin in a good position, and he's onside, and he turns it back for Kerr. Good effort. And Spink was a little lucky then, because he didn't keep the ball cleanly. And I suppose it sums up the way the fortune has gone today, that when the ball dropped, it was a Villa defender that it dropped to, not a Middlesbrough forward.
It was a better move, a lovely layoff by Slavin, and a good left foot shot.
The Villa fans behind that goal have their opportunity to lift their team. Gray's throw. Gage. Thompson was there. Comes back to Birch, and now Lillis. Daly. Gallagher. Lillis. Gage. Outside him is Gray. Thompson in the middle. Ooh. Well, Parkinson took a risk, but he got away with it. Now Ripley. Well, Evans was climbing all over Slavin. Middlesbrough's free kick. And it's quick and effective to Slavin. But Gallagher, very tenacious little player. Here's Gallagher again. Mowbray could only play it to McInally, and Pallister very cool. Gallagher's not really put a foot wrong. "25 minutes remaining here at Urson Park. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Glover for Middlesbrough. Lillis' clearance. And Gallagher had more time than he realised. Slaven. Parkinson. Ripley's outside him. Slaven into the space. He's beaten Evans well, but not Keown with the cross. Villa really pen back here. Laws. Kerr. Birch's challenge was a good one. And Andy Gray doing superbly well again. Daly. Lillis takes over. Pallister, but straight to Daly. Hamilton there to complete the defensive job. Slaven winning it back for Middlesbrough. This is Hamilton. Kerr. The Villa defence is a tough nut to crack. Middlesbrough's throw in. No free kick given. And the crowd ain't happy with that, as Thompson breaks clear for Aston Villa. Now they've got an extra man here. Birch is forward for McAnally. They couldn't find him, and in any case, the linesman would have signalled for an offside. Well, it's not like Aston Villa. You expect them to make something of quick counter-attacks like that in.
Well, that's correct, Alan. Very good position. And actually, I'm surprised at Paul Birch, who was a wide man on the left and ran like 10 yards offside.
So Borough cling to the hope of getting back into this game with Kerr. Cage beats Hamilton to it and was being fouled by the Middlesbrough number 9.
I'm sure Bruce Rioch at this stage is contemplating making a change. He did it the other night up at Goodison Park when he took Bernie Slaven off and put Kernigan on. I might even do that again today.
Alistair's header dropping, difficult one for Mowbray, and he just about got out of it. He was fouled as well by McAnally. Borough wanted to take the free kick a little too quickly for Mr. Hackett's liking. So can Borough get back into a game they can really not afford to lose? Cooper. Thompson. Referee has overruled his linesman there because the linesman felt it was a Villa throw. Mr. Hackett says it's Borough's. Flicked on by Hamilton. This is Birch though for Aston Villa. And Thompson. McAnally holding off the defender. Oh, they couldn't keep the ball in play. Laws for Middlesbrough. Cooper. Laws has continued his run and was thumped to the ground by Gray. Middlesbrough free kick, and that always spells danger. As ever, Pallister and Mowbray, the two towering centre-backs, have gone forward. Keown met it well. Birch. And Middlesbrough turn the screw a little tighter. Can can this pressure lead to an equalising goal? Slaven. In it comes from Hamilton. Lillis away. Pallister. Didn't that remind you of Alan Hansen, the way he just dropped his shoulder then and went by the player? But it hasn't come off yet anyway for Middlesbrough. Laws and Kerr. Parkinson. Wasn't a bad effort. Gary Parkinson, who's never scored. The youngest man in the side, just 20. And he struck that shot pretty firmly. Birch for Villa. Well, that was a wasted break because, again, there were plenty of Villa men in a good position in.
Well, I mean, Thompson's looking at him because it was all set up there for a nice little 1-2, which would have put him right in on top of the goalkeeper. You know, this Middlesbrough team, they are a young side, Alan, and looking at them, you can tell the difference in experience, you know, from a Villa squad. And throughout the game, there's always little... You look at it and you say, well, it's inexperience that's catching up with them, I think.
And that was a bit of inexperience, perhaps, that has gifted the ball to McInally. And still McInally, and still. Well, you cannot run through brick walls, and Pallister's built like one. Slaven. Ripley on the right. Yes, he's done well here. Lovely piece of individual skill by Stuart Ripley, a player with pace and strength, and he really tested Spink then.
But really, I do think, again, you know, this business of inexperience, you know, that if he'd knocked the ball to the back post there, we had Villa players lined up there.
Stuart Ripley, one of the many young players that are giving Middlesbrough hope of a very bright future indeed. Another local lad, just 22. Parkinson being fouled by McInally. A poor free kick. Parkinson can try again. Gallagher's clearance. Aston Villa, bottom of the first division last season after 12 years in the top flight, and very, very keen to go back at the first attempt, and looking at this stage of the season likely to do so. They lead by a goal to nil, remember. Daly's goal after 35 minutes, still separating the sides. Pallister for Middlesbrough. Ripley takes over. Kerr. Gray and Kerr battling for possession, and it's Lillis who comes out at the end of the ball and was fouled by Glover. I think Aston Villa are thinking about a substitution. Certainly Tony Daly is the player who's going off. The two men on the bench for Villa today are Warren Aspinall and Stuart Gray. As Gray comes on. Settle down is his first piece of advice. Stuart Gray, who was signed earlier in the season from Barnsley. He's been out for 6 weeks with a back injury, incidentally. 15 minutes to go. Birch. McInally. Good play by him, he finds Gage. And Villa having made their substitution, Stuart Gray coming on. It looks as though Alan Kernigan is going to come on for Middlesbrough. Slaven. It's a fine cross towards Hamilton. Glover couldn't win it. Birch did for Villa. And that's good play by little Paul Birch. And Gray. Now the other Gray, Stewart. And Villa very professionally just slowing things down, and it'll go back to the goalkeeper, I should think. Aston Villa on their way to another vital away win. Or can Middlesbrough come back? Paul Kerr is the Middlesbrough man who'll go off, and that has met with the dissatisfaction of the Aston Park crowd.
Well, as you said earlier, he has worked very, very hard. He's put everything into it today. In fact, he's been the liveliest of the Borough players up front, so he'll be disappointed. But maybe the lad has an injury, or, you know, you can never tell.
Anyway, Alan Kernigan is on, another youngster, 20, a striker with 5 goals so far this season. A regular a little earlier in the season. So a dangerous moment for Middlesbrough. Stuart Gray with the free kick. Keown was there, and McInally on the far post. And Kernigan's first touch was a defensive one, and that's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Slaven. Hamilton. It's a free kick to Middlesbrough. A foul by Gray on Hamilton. Terrific noise now. The Borough fans will try and lift their team in this last quarter of an hour. Cooper's free kick. Mowbray in there with the header. And it dropped in the right place for Gray to clear. Parkinson. Villa press forward, trying to look for offside, but it doesn't work. Gallagher's clearance. Here's Laws. Laws again. Lillis breaking clear for Aston Villa. And finds Birch. Lillis still going and in a good position, but how well Mowbray read it. This is Cooper. Kernigan. Big and rangy. But a poor cross. And Middlesbrough may be about to make their second substitution. Kernigan having just come on. Mark Berg, who was 19 yesterday, will come on in place of Stuart Ripley. And again, the supporters and Bruce Rioch not exactly in agreement about who should come on.
Well, I must say, Bruce is a brave man. He's making the decisions, and he doesn't care what the crowd think.
10 minutes to go. Mark Berg, another former Aston Villa player. They've got 4 of them altogether here at Aston Park. Gets 10 minutes to try and have an influence on the outcome of this match. Villa still leading. These teams have already met 3 times this season in the league and 2 Littlewoods Cup ties, and each one of those matches has finished 1-0. Are we to have the 4th, or are we? Slaven. What a marvellous save, but Kernigan follows up, and Borough have equalised. They won't be criticising Bruce Rioch's substitution now. Slaven did splendidly to beat those 2 defenders. It was a good save by Spink. It was all he could do. Kernigan following up. What a finish now.
I said Bernie Slaven must have been having nightmares here, because he did ever so well to get himself into the shooting position, but it was a weak effort with the outside of his left foot, almost straight at Spink, and he'd be a relieved man to see Kernigan follow up.
1-1. Pallister's header. Gage. They'll lift the roof off this place now if Middlesbrough can produce a winner. 8 minutes to go. Kernigan's header. Free kick. Thompson and Pallister grappling, and Cooper was a bit silly. He just clipped him on the ankle as he went by. Wonderful noise ringing around Aston Park again. It's 1 each. Hamilton. Good tackle when it was needed. Cooper winning it well, and Hamilton doing well, but he was adjudged to a foul and a little bit of unpleasantness. Cooper and Birch exchanging pleasantries. Hard to believe this club was dead 18 months ago, isn't it? The ground is very much alive now. Hamilton. Kernigan on the left. Slaven is with him. And they've got red shirts pouring forward from all directions. Corner off Keown. Well, they do love a rousing finish here. And we've got one. Oh, it was flicked on dangerously, and Stuart Gray was there to clear for Aston Villa. Parkinson. Kernigan. Hamilton. Mowbray still forward from the corner. Away by Gage. Thompson's mistake. This is Hamilton. Birch making life difficult for him, and it's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Taken a bit too quickly. Here's Glover though. Mowbray. Burke. This is Laws. Mowbray! It's the second goal for Middlesbrough, and the captain has scored it.
Well, you were right, Alan. You did say the like a dramatic finish up here at Aston Park, and they're certainly getting that today.
What a moment. Laws doing well with that cross. Mowbray got away from all his markers and planted the header in.
Well, I'm delighted for the big fella, you know, after being involved in the goal that they lost. What a good header.
Well, the man who Bruce Rioch says he'd take to the moon with him if he had to go there, has possibly scored a very, very important goal for Middlesbrough. Well, it is important whatever happens. And there he is again, challenging McAnally. Burke. And Burke in good space again. Slaven on the left. What a finish this is. Slaven. still. Well, he wanted the glory, didn't he, I think? Because he had two players in a good position. But how well he did, in fairness, for the Middlesbrough equaliser. It's 2-1 to Middlesbrough. 4 minutes on the clock. What an afternoon this has been. What a credit to Division 2. Just went for a corner from Glover's clearance. So Aston Villa's 13-match unbeaten run in Division 2 in danger. But they'll come back as well. They don't like losing away. Kernigan got it clear. Back in from Andy Gray. Now then, Slaven breaks. And it's forward to Slaven again from Laws. The keeper's come out, but the offside flag has been raised, so that excitement is in vain.
They've shown tremendous character, the Middlesbrough players. I mean, they did so in the cup run they had this year, and they're doing it again this afternoon. They're a young team, they are inexperienced, but tremendous character.
Over Pallister's head, Thompson. Ooh, it was a good shot, and the bounce could have deceived the keeper, but Pear's right behind it. Kernigan's header on as we watch that effort at the other end from Thompson. That bounce was tricky. Well, this will be a famous win if Middlesbrough can complete it. Because remember, just 18 months ago, the official receiver moved in, closed the club down with debts of £2 million. Middlesbrough were just hours away from extinction. Now they're just minutes away from beating the second division leaders and gaining the 3 points, which will place them right back in the frame for promotion back to the first division. It's a fairy tale story, and it's almost come true.
You know, the papers are full of it today, saying that certain players are believing here, but I don't think they will. You know, I think Ayresome Park needs a good side. They've got a good young set of lads here, and I can't see them selling them. You know, I think they will keep them, and they can only get better. Alan, you know, this is a good young side that will get better. And if Bruce Rioch wants to get in the first division, well, this side will probably take him there. So, and I don't see why. I don't think he will sell the likes of Pallister.
Well, the adversity born of almost going out of business, and indeed almost losing their own jobs, of course, has really bred a tremendous spirit amongst the team here, and an affinity with the supporters in an area where they know all about losing jobs, of course. The Teesside area, one of high unemployment, and they love to see a successful football team. But here's Thompson for Aston Villa. Ooh, what an effort that was! Gary Thompson could have spoiled the afternoon for the Borough faithful then. Cracking shot from that range, but lifting all the way. It was close, wasn't it? Lillis going up with Hamilton. We're into the final half minute. Middlesbrough lead by 2-1. In a dramatic comeback. Keown for Aston Villa. McAnally given away. Now Slaven. Keown coming forward himself. And a lot of room for Stuart Gray on the left. And all the amateur referees in Ayresome Park blowing their own whistles now. They want to hear the final whistle. Gray again. Mowbray clear. Good challenge. But here's Evans for Villa. And Thompson. Gage. McAnally. This is Lillis. Evans. Stuart Gray won the ball but couldn't make the effective cross. And here's Glover. Straight to Gallagher. Now Birch is in the centre here, and if Gray had got the cross in a little quicker, he could have found him, but it's a corner. We're into time being added. It's 2-1 to Middlesbrough, but Villa have a corner. Flicked on towards McInally, and a scramble of players, and finally it's hoofed away, and there's the final whistle, and Middlesbrough have completed a memorable victory over the second division leaders. And the fans who stayed loyal to the club, which almost died, have been rewarded with a terrific performance, full of guts and character, and summed up by that man. Stitches in his head, the disappointment of an own goal at Everton, which knocked his side out of the cup in midweek, but he's made of strong stuff, and he came back, Tony Mowbray, to score the winner. Brilliant support, and with 7 of their remaining 13 matches here at Aston Park, Middlesbrough, who now move into 3rd place in the table, are going to be a very effective force in the outcome of the promotion issue in Division 2. Great performance then, and Middlesbrough, a goal down for so long, have come back to win by 2 goals to 1. We'll have a reaction to this match right after the break.
To all you out there with your heavy lives and heavy beers, we who drink Miller Lights, clean, smooth lager, with more of the sugar turned to alcohol, have the following message.
Heavy.
It's the sensational Sun Price Busters catalogue. Free this week only in the Sun. Unique low price offers plus Sun discount vouchers for super savings. You can save on fashion, save on fitness, save all over the home.
Amazing savings.
Free the Sun Price Buster catalogue only in the Sun. Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood, read how he saved the world's greatest rock band and play Sun Lotto. £30,000 or more to win every day. It's all in the Sun this week.
The Volvo 340. Tested by dummies, driven by the intelligent.
Whatever your appliance, pound for pound, penny for penny, Colite gives you more heat than any other smokeless coal. So buy Colite, real fire heating at its very best.
Yes, the points to Middlesbrough and a very passionate Valentine's Day finish here at Aston Park. And really, the second division won this afternoon, Jack, didn't it? A wonderful advert for second division football.
Terrific game, played in a very, very good spirit. There wasn't a bad foul in the game, and all in all, smashing game. I'm glad Middlesbrough won. They kept plugging away at the football, they kept building it up slowly, and then suddenly Villa crumbled, funnily enough, in a part of the field where I didn't expect him to. Gray sort of went out a little bit in the last few minutes, was to run himself out. Keogh, who I was going to give man of the match, suddenly got himself in a few funny positions. And Middlesbrough went through the middle and got the winner.
And they made those
equaliser.
Two substitutions, which the crowd didn't really appreciate. But then we got the equaliser after 80 minutes, and that really turned it, didn't it?
Sometimes when you make substitutions, when you're getting beat, it's a good thing. But here, I mean, Bernie Slavin got himself into a great position here, and again went to pick his spot and didn't hit it right. And Spinks, I thought he might have hung on to that one, but it got away from him and the boys scored. But Middlesbrough had been threatening that the whole game, but they hadn't had any success through the middle at all.
But what a rousing finish it was.
Wonderful.
It wasn't great to see this crowd on their feet. An 84th minute winner. What more can you want?
That's right, on Valentine's Day. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Here we are, Jack. This is a great
this is a typical Mowbray goal. He stayed up there instead of going back into his position. You see, Keogh's not marked him. He's let him run in front of him there. And really, he shouldn't have done that. You pick up people at that stage of the game. And
I want a name from you.
Well, I've got to give it to Mowbray because he's battled and he's pushed people. He's had cuts in his head. He's never stopped. He was a bit at fault maybe for the Villa goal, but all in all, I'll give it to the big lad.
There he is, Jack. There he is with Martin. Tony Mowbray, the man of the match. Martin.
Well, rarely has a bottle of champagne been more richly deserved. Many congratulations, Tony Mowbray. Now, Tony, it's a bit of a late show here. You're making a habit of these dramatic finales.
That's right, yeah. Everton last week, and thankfully this one today. I think it's sort of, you get carried along really with the atmosphere. We attack this Aldgate end, second half, and I mean the noise they create, we just sort of get carried along on it, and you sort of know in yourself that it's coming, there's a goal coming. I think the Everton manager said last week we got a corner last minute. He sort of sensed it was going to go in because the atmosphere and everything was going, and it was like that today. Really, we had a free kick, it got cleared, and I stayed up, and it just came back in, and thankfully I got my head on it.
We've been saying all day long that it's a game Middlesbrough really couldn't afford to lose.
That's right, yes. I mean, I think they'd have been 11 points away from us if they'd have won today. So it was vital for us today to get a result. And I think a lot of teams at the top of the second division will be happy with that result today. It keeps it really alive for everybody. And we're confident we've got a good run in. We'll be looking to be there at the end of the season.
Well, go in and crack that bottle of champagne with your teammates. Well played, Tony.
Thank you very much indeed. Cheers.
Yes, and don't they deserve it, as we can see Middlesbrough up to third place there. Aston Villa's lead from Blackburn, just 1 point now. But they've still got the best away record in the league, and I think we've had a wonderful afternoon, Jack, haven't we?
Been a terrific afternoon. I'm delighted Middlesbrough won, actually. It keeps that... They're still involved.
As Tony was saying.
They're one of my clubs, Middlesbrough, and I like to see them do well. And all in all, I think they deserve to win because they kept plugging away at that football. They kept building it up nicely and got the breaks at the end.
Jack, lovely to see you again.
Thanks
We've
very
had
much.
a great afternoon here at Ayresome Park. Middlesbrough 2, Aston Villa 1. From all of us here, bye-bye.
South and moderate. Tomorrow, mist and fog will quickly clear, thereafter a dry and bright day with sunny intervals. It'll be quite mild again, with temperatures reaching 9 degrees Celsius, 48 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds will be mainly moderate from the south or southwest, and that's the weather outlook for tonight and tomorrow. The adult comedy series Small World is next on Tyne Tees after the break.
I can't stop writing.
Look at Shakespeare. 39 plays, 154 sonnets. What a scribbler.
I spend hours writing checks. I can't stop.
Would it help if I presented my bill now?
I can't resist all those spaces to fill in. The amount in figures, the amount in words, the date.
Have you never heard of Barclays Bank?
I'm not daft.
I'll be the judge of that. Look at this.
A credit card?
It's a Barclays Connect card. Thousands of Barclays customers have one. It's exactly the same as paying by check at Visa outlets. All you have to do is to sign your name. Debits your current account direct.
A Barclays Connect card. I'm cured.
What name shall I put on the bill?
Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte.
If you're in the market for a personal pension, of all the companies you could talk to, we like to think we are the brightest. Amiable, capable, professional, legal, and general.
Volvo 340. Tested by dummies, driven by the intelligent.
Hi, Mum. Let me know. You okay? Headache?
Just a bit.
These will help shift it.
Good old Andin.
New Anodin. Still as effective, but now with the new micro-thin coating. So, it's easier to swallow.
Yes, you always had trouble getting tablets down.
Must rush.
Trust new Anodin.
Headache gone. Bye, Mum. Bye, love.
A fast pain relief that's easier to swallow.
There's a week-long school examination in the Times starting tomorrow. Would you pass?
Mrs. Watkins, how much do you know about your children's education? Are they being taught the right subjects, Mr. Watkins? Okay, then, what is the government's policy on exams, Mrs. Watkins? No? Well, what books should your children be reading? You've got a lot to learn, haven't you?
What are we teaching our children? In the Times all this week. It's an education.
St. Ivel Gold. It's the flavor of the future. With a taste you might remember.
Villa in Spain, we adore you. We waited 20 years for you.
Sign on the right dotted line for a pension, and who knows where it'll take you.
Don't just sit there. Ski resorts, snow reports, and the latest holidays are on your screen. Page your Oracle for the fastest information on the slopes.
Major new crime series, The Fear, starting Wednesday at 9 on ITV.
Back to tonight, and episode 4 of our adult comedy Small World sees our innocent abroad in the adults-only city of Amsterdam.
The Confession of Percy McGarrigle, Part 4. My dream of finding Angelica at the Semiotics Conference in Amsterdam was doomed to become a nightmare, starting with the discovery that Siegfried von Tirpitz had somehow managed to read my outline for Bound in a nutshell and was brazenly attempting to pass off my ideas as his own.
Like Ophelia, the symbol of betrayed innocence. So, when Hamlet turns on Ophelia and implores, "Get thee to a nunnery," can we not hear the voice of Albert shouting, "Please, hurry up, please, it's time"?
I'd like to ask the speaker a question.
We will be taking questions at the conclusion.
I'd like to ask the speaker a question right now.
Sit down.
I'd like to ask Professor von Tirpitz if he's recently read the draft outline of a book about the influence of T.S. Eliot on the modern reading of Shakespeare submitted by me.
to the publishers Lecky, Windrush and Bernstein of London.
Question.
Would you please repeat the question?
I'm asking if Professor Von Tirpitz has
Asking
read
if he's
my
an
book
officially
about
registered
the
member
influence
of this
C.S.
conference.
Eliot on the modern reading of Shakespeare.
May I ask, sir, whether you are an officially registered member of the conference?
Well, no, I'm not.
Then I'm afraid your question is out of order.
But that's not fair! I have reason to believe that Professor Von Tirpitz has plagiarized part of his paper from an unpublished manuscript of my own.
I'm sorry. I cannot accept a question from someone who is not a member of the conference.
I'm a member, so let me ask it. Did Professor Von Tirpitz read the manuscript for Lecky, Windrush and Bernstein, or did he not?
Ja, das ist wirklich mehr, als mir gefallen lassen. Nein, es ärgert mich furchtbar.
What's he saying?
I don't know.
He don't speak German.
He's a saying. He didn't come here to be insulted.
Yeah, well, young Mr. McGarrigle didn't come here to be ripped off. And I am not going to spend another minute in this chamber with Professor Von Tirpitz until he issues a full and frank statement of how he came to read the manuscript and why he borrowed so heavily from it.
Möchte, genau weiß, dass eine sogenannte
Siegfried, isn't you rather overstep the mark?
How did he catch sight of it?
It's obvious. Parkinson.
Parkinson.
Sure. He was too lazy to read it himself, as he had promised Felix Skinner, or considered it beneath him, most likely. So he passed it on to Von Tirpitz. This is going to get around. It's not going to help Von Tirpitz's reputation one little bit. I've weighed his into the UNESCO chair.
Look, I want to grab some shut-eye before tonight. We all celebrate. Grand Sauté restaurant. And it's on me.
Delicious man. He's not bent, is he?
Oh.
Ah, buono. But Paris, why are you downcast? You have had a sensation.
Sensations are no use to me, Fulvia. Without the woman I love.
Nurse. Nurse.
Miss Maiden?
Try the Rospert.
The Rospert?
The Rospert. The red light district. It makes Soho look like a kindergarten.
I didn't know exactly what it was I was looking for, but I felt that whatever it was, I was getting closer. And then I saw it. Her. My Angelica. A whore in a shop window. I could not erase the awful vision from my mind. I wandered by the canals in a daze. I don't know how much time drifted by before I decided I had to return to the house with the number 9 on it and confront Angelica. Excuse me.
You American? You like to spend some time with me? $40, including VAT.
There was another girl here. A while ago.
She gone. She babysitter. Don't worry. I give you good time.
Babysitter? You mean Angelica's your babysitter?
You mean Lily?
Lily?
Yeah, she's a friend. Help me out sometimes.
Where can I find Lily?
She works at the cabaret. Blue Heaven on the Octoberg wall. Turn right at the end of the street and over the bridge.
For a moment, I was astoundingly light-headed. All right, she probably wasn't a secular sister of mercy ministering to the prostitutes of Amsterdam, but she wasn't a whore either. And then I saw that she was something even worse. The woman I worshipped, being mounted by a hooded man in public. Exactly the same as the porno cinema in Rummage. Same man, same hood, same mounting. It hadn't been a hallucination. The only hallucination had been my vision of Angelica Babst. Through the haze of my alcoholic disgust, I remembered I was meant to meet my friends for a jolly Indonesian celebration.
Oh, Percy, help yourself. We got chicken and peanut sauce, meat, stewed and coconut, some barbecued...
Va bene?
Of course he's Bob Benning. This is the guy who unmasked Siegfried von Turbitz.
Yeah, still waters and all that. You're obviously a king killer.
Nah, you don't want to kill anybody, do you, Percy?
I think we'd all better watch out for this young man. Jacques Texter.
Oh, yeah. I know. Morris pointed you out. Tell us, are you an enemy or not? See, Morris said he wasn't sure.
Paranoid as ever, Morris.
Percy doesn't understand American humor.
This fellow, he puts a pedo on Terpes, no?
Yeah, I'd say his chances are nicht so good.
Chances? Does this mean that you are flying, Morris? Yeah, perhaps wise to keep your cards close. Of course, I may be an enemy.
That was humor, Jacques. New York wise guy humor. That was a real stupid thing to say, Percy.
Don't bark at me, Morris.
What are you applying for, Morris?
Nothing you'd be interested in, Philip. Doesn't concern you.
Maurice, Paris is in a melancholy.
Why should he be in a melancholy? He had a triumph today.
You do seem awfully down.
I traced Angelica Pabst. She's betrayed me.
So what else is new? Women betray men, men betray women.
Oh, this is a decadent, cynical.
This is reality. Work is everything. Along with food.
No, it isn't. There is love, and it's the Holy Grail. It may be elusive, Perce, but you must never give up.
No, Philip. I'm retiring from the quest.
What a jolly little group. Celebrating Siegfried's humiliation, I suppose.
Sorry you gave him Percy's manuscript.
Not at all. I had a shrewd suspicion that plagiarizing old Toad would try to pinch it. And now he's out of the race.
You're a Machiavellian bastard.
Let's just say a formidable opponent.
For what? What is the race?
I told you, Philip, this doesn't concern you.
But this does. A proof copy of my TLS review.
This concerns me?
Yes. And Professor Zapp.
Horrible.
Well, I think I'm going to have to do some rewrites on my paper for tomorrow. See if I can put in some devastating cracks about that supercilious prick.
Didn't know you were given a paper.
Well, how else can I claim my conference expenses? Same paper I gave at Rummage. Slightly adapted. Wonderfully adaptable paper. I aim to give it all over Europe.
I don't think I'll bother to stay around.
Look, Percy, what's your problem?
Morris, This is a review of my book. Why on earth is it being reviewed now?
Copulation.
Shut up, Percy.
It's fantastic. It's an absolute rave.
Oh, yeah? What's it say about me?
Oh, not much. Just a passing reference.
How gratifying to encounter in the dreary desert of contemporary criticism an exponent of that noble tradition, simple enjoyment of great books. Professor Swallow's timely and instructive study contrasts sharply with the jargon-ridden lucubrations of Professor Maurice Zapp, in which the perverse paradoxes of continental savant are, if possible, rendered even more pretentious and sterile.
Bourgeois empiricist.
That's the worst you can say about him.
For a Marxist, that's a curse to hell.
I mean, listen to this crap. The time has come for those who believe in literature as the expression of universal and timeless human values to stand and be counted. Professor Swallow has sounded a clarion call to action. Who will respond? It's a limey plot. Parkinson is pushing his own claim to the UNESCO chair under cover of praising Philip's book.
UNESCO chair? What's the UNESCO chair?
It's not for you. I'm gonna go for his juggler tomorrow.
Why isn't it for me? What is it exactly?
Is in literary criticism. Whoever wins the competition flies around the world at UNESCO's expense and makes $150,000 a year, tax-free.
Thank you, Fulvia. Morris would obviously have never told me about it.
Philip, you said yourself your grail is love, not success.
They're not incompatible, Morris. Now I've found joy again, I've also found confidence and ambition. I may just apply for this chap.
Don't be stupid, Philip. You're a nice guy, but you don't exactly set the intellectual pulse racing, do you?
Oh, really? And yet, strangely enough, I'm the one with a fucking rave review in the TLS. A review which takes you down more than a peg or two.
You goddamn bourgeois empiricist!
My surrogate fathers were lost to ego and competition, with no thought for their shattered surrogate son. Inebriated as I was, I decided to return to Ireland that very night.
Ah, Mr. McGarrigle.
Oui.
Some friends of mine are organizing a T.S. Eliot conference in Lausanne this June. May they invite you?
Do you know your Shakespeare?
Yes, somewhat.
You remember Henry IV, Part 1. This old fella says to Hotspur, I can call spirits from the vasty deep. And Hotspur replies, so can I. But will they come?
Was that a yes or a no? I find enigmatic men tremendously attractive. Albert?
I was, how can I describe it? Disillusioned. I no longer believed in romance or the academic life. Both seemed without virtue. I hated the great world and longed for the soporific security of Limerick University. It was the lowest moment of my life.
Oh, I wish I had a brain. I wish I had a heart. I wish I had
Courage?
no, a club.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Take a club. Oh, that thick real chocolate drives me wild.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
There's a week-long school examination in the Times starting tomorrow. Would you pass?
Mrs. Watkins, how much do you know about your children's education? Are they being taught the right subjects, Mr. Watkins? Okay, then, what is the government's policy on exams, Mrs. Watkins? No? Well, what books should your children be reading? You've got a lot to learn, haven't you?
What are we teaching our children? In the Times all this week. It's an education.
Dear Professor Macready, I was eternally grateful when you agreed to let me have a sabbatical in order to work on my new poems. It was a relief to be back on home ground. Felix Skinner wrote that after the Von Tirpitz scandal, he definitely wanted to publish Bound in a Nutshell. And Michel Tardieu invited me to the T.S. Eliot conference in Lausanne, but I wanted no more excursions into the great world. At first, I had a most enjoyable time, writing tormented and anguished attacks on the impossibility of love in the cesspool of the 20th century. Blue Heaven by Percy McGarrigle. I found my love in Amsterdam. A hooded man was mounting her beside a black canal. But soon my own bitterness began to bore me. Which is why, dear Professor Macready, I said I would assist you with your summer school on Celtic art for mature American students. They were a bit more mature than I'd been bargaining for. I took refuge in the letters I'd had from Philip Swallow and Morris Zapp, who both began by expressing token regret they'd abandoned me, mentally speaking, before they went on to their favorite topic, themselves.
Understand its meaning is vain.
Morris's lecture was familiar stuff, laced with some rather puerile attacks on Rudyard Parkinson, who, after all, is an extremely distinguished and respected man. He was given a rather poor reception. Then Morris tried to foist his homemade badges on some delegates. Frankly, it was all a bit sad.
Hey, Louis.
I truly think he's in menopause, trying to bury his sexual frustration in work.
Good luck with that stupid book.
And when I realized that Morris's lust for success was simply a sublimation of his sexual desires, I felt forgiveness sweep over me, and we parted in a civilized manner. I put all thoughts of poor, sad Morris behind me on the shuttle back to Rummidge. I dreamed of joy. It was like a home movie on the back of my eyelids.
No, I'd worked it all out so I would arrive in Ankara just as you left. At the last minute, I decided to meet you and give fate a chance for second thoughts.
Dad.
Hello.
You never meet me. What's the matter?
We have things to tell you, Dad. I'm going to spend 6 months in South America, learning about politics and social change and that kind of thing.
I see.
Is that all you can say?
It's very exciting.
And I've got something to tell you, too.
I have something to tell you. You see, I met this woman I thought was dead. I'm the father of her child, and I'd like a divorce, please.
Did you hear me?
Oh, sorry, my ear's still bunged up from the plane.
I said I've got a job. I have to go for a preliminary interview, but I'm pretty sure they'll accept me for training.
Yes, I can hear you now. So, what is it then?
Marriage guidance. Well, after all, it's a subject I know something about. We've had our ups and downs, you and I, but we're still together after all these years, aren't we? So how was your trip?
Oh, the usual. So, I've caved in, Perce. Romance extinguished by the cold water of habit, home, and family. Don't you lose your sense of romance. Pursue Angelica Pabst until you find her.
One green bottle hanging on the wall. One green bottle hanging on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be no green bottles hanging on the wall.
My lecture was a huge success, Percy. I cut Parkinson right down to size. Afterwards, there was a run on my badges. Everybody wanted one. Well, almost everyone. Frankly, I just felt sorry for the guy. He's a lightweight, sweet but ineffective. I bet he won't even have the guts to leave Hillary, much less get it together for the UNESCO chair. Like most Englishmen, he lacks the killer instinct. I guess that's why they lost their empire. Anyway, we parted on good terms. Poor schmuck and his pathetic book. How could I stay angry at such a basic non-entity? Fulvia and I had become close. Although consummation had not actually occurred, we became even closer on the plane to Milan. For a start, we shared the same opinion of Philip Swallow.
He wasn't very boring. What is his book like?
Well, this'll give you a little bit of the flavor. He is the most learned man who knows the most of what is farthest removed from common life and actual observation, and is most full of uncertainty, difficulties, and contradictions.
But that is very interesting. Is it that Swallow?
No, Hazlitt.
So modern. Uncertainties, difficulties, contradictions. Hazlitt was obviously a man ahead of his time. That is a remarkable attack on bourgeois empiricism.
I think that was meant to be ironic. It comes from an essay called The Ignorance of the Learned.
The English and their ironies. You never know where you are with them. With us, there is no irony. You know where you stand.
Now, Percy, I have to admit to feelings of arousal. A difficult position for a guy who still believed that sex should be limited to 15 minutes with a blonde young Californian gal in a massage parlor, but I would have stuck to my principles if it hadn't been for the municipal employees of Milan and the Italian Postal Service.
There's been a lightning strike. 2 clerks in the tax department are being victimized.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, for exempting their families from property tax.
It's not what I'd call victimization.
But it's not true. It was their boss who asked to be exempt. And when they say no, he sack them. With this a lie.
That's very Rashomon. Well, no car from Milagro, no taxis either. Looks like I'm going to have to take a bus.
The buses will be on strike.
Christ, I wrote them I was arriving today.
The postal service is a balls up. When I have a really urgent letter, I drive to Switzerland to mail it.
Shit, what am I going to do?
He's a set lad. You spend the night with us. Tomorrow we'll phone the conference and tell him to send transport.
No, look, I've got plenty of time.
It's my car. I have one of the servants bring it for us. Buongiorno, Giuseppe.
Giuseppe?
Radio, compagni!
No!
Fulvia, there's a question I must ask you. It may sound naive and even a little bit rude, but nonetheless, I can't suppress it any longer.
See.
I just want to know how you managed to reconcile living like a millionaire while being a Marxist.
A very American question, if I may say so, Maurice. How is your guinea fowl?
It's terrific.
Of course, I recognize the contradictions in our way of life. But those are the very contradictions characteristic of the last phase of bourgeois capitalism, which will eventually cause it to collapse. How are the oranges and caramel sauce?
Oh, just terrific.
Dolce latte?
See?
You see, Maurice, by renouncing our own little bit of privilege, we should not accelerate by 1 minute the consummation of that process. And since in terms of dialectical materialism, it makes no difference to the historical process, whether Annette and I as individuals are rich or poor, we might as well be rich. Because it is a role that we know how to perform with a certain dignity. Whereas to be poor with dignity is something that must be bred in the bone through generations. Besides, by being rich, we are able to help those who are taking more positive action.
Who are they?
Various groups.
Telefono per lei, signora.
Various groups.
Yes, various groups. Ciao, caro. Signor non ritorna questa sera. Puoi andare a letto, Maria.
Va bene. Buonanotte, signora.
Buonanotte, Maria. My husband. He is delayed in Rome because of the strike. Milan airport is closed. He will not return tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Why? Sit here.
No, that's okay. I'm fine right here. It's beautiful flowers, by the way. They local?
Cognac au liqueur.
Cognac would be great, thanks. So, what do you think of Tardieu?
I don't. He is homosexual.
No, I meant as an academic.
He is bright.
Oh, you think he's got a chance for the chair, then?
Possible, eh?
He's a narratologist. I mean, 10 years ago, everybody was into that stuff, but now it's all past.
Only 10 years, huh? Does fashion and scholarship have such a short life?
Oh, yeah. Even shorter. See, there are people coming back into fashion now didn't even know they were out of it.
Let's not talk about chairs anymore.
Okay, what shall we talk about?
This.
That?
Tell me, Maurice, is it really 25 centimeters?
Whatever gave you that idea?
Your wife's a book. I read every page of Giorni Difficili avidly.
Well, you shouldn't believe everything you read, Fulvia. A professional critic like yourself should know that novelists exaggerate.
But how much do they exaggerate, Maurice, huh? I should like to see for myself.
Lock Gill! Last stop for the Lake Isle of Innisfree. Everybody out.
What? Oh, Mr. Maxwell. Yes, last stop. Everybody out. Thanks.
5 minutes, Mr. McGarrigle. Sure have we got a marvelous day for us.
5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll head out for Innisfree.
I will arise and go now. And go to Innisfree. And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. Do we get to see the cabin, Mr. McGarrigle?
Well, I don't think Yates actually got round to building it, Mr. Maxwell. It was more of a dream than a reality. Like most of our dearest ambitions.
Oh, don't say that, Mr. McGarrigle. I believe in looking on the bright side of everything.
Well, you'll certainly get to see the Wattles.
Excellent. And I shall have some peace there. For peace comes dropping slow. Dropping from the veils of the morning where the
You left Amsterdam in rather a hurry.
Miss Maiden, what are you doing here?
I'm on a walking tour of Yeats' country. When it comes to poetic mysticism, Yeats is, as they say in Harlem, my main man.
Well, it's grand to see you.
Did you ever find the Grail?
You mean the girl?
I mean the Grail. Isn't that what Angelica is?
Yes, I found her. And no, she isn't.
Isn't she? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm assisting Professor Macready with his Celtic Twilight Summer School for mature students.
Those they? Oh, I wouldn't take them across to Innisfree this morning. There's going to be an almighty storm.
But it's a lovely day. And then I recognized that psychic look. Excuse me. Everybody out of the boats! There's going to be a storm!
Don't be silly.
You'll get paid. Well, half anyway, so please get them out of the boats, will you?
I know there's a wee bit of darkness at the edge of the sky, but as long as you can see Ben Baldwin, there's nothing to worry about.
Visions often.
I haven't had a vision for ages. Not since I met you in Rummage. You seem to bring them on.
God! Oh, God! Mr. Maxwell?
This is God's judgment on me.
Well, he's been very unfair on the rest of us, then.
It's God's judgment to strike me with lightning. In Sligo, the very place I deceived that poor girl.
What girl was that?
She was a chambermaid at a hotel I was staying at during the Yates Summer School. My doctoral dissertation was on Celtic mythology and the early poems.
The devil take your doctoral dissertation. Was the girl's name Bernadette McGarrigle?
Yes! Yes, it was!
How do you know? Because she's my cousin. And you ruined her life. Getting her with child. And then abandoning her.
This is absolutely thrilling stuff.
I'll marry her! I'll marry her! She wouldn't want to marry a spalpeen like yourself.
I'll make a settlement about the child.
That's more like it. We'll have that put in writing.
Perce, you must deliver it.
Must I?
Yes, the day after tomorrow, on the morning flight. You must fly Galway Air. Trust me.
So I flew back into the great world. I had no need of fiction. I had the rest of Morris Zapp's letter to read.
So Fulvia took me upstairs to her bedroom.
How you like it?
Well, it's a little like being in an orgy choreographed by Buzzley Barkley.
No jokes, Maurice, huh?
It's not erotic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just went to the Marx School of Eroticism. That's Groucho, not Carl.
No more jokes.
Oh.
What would you like to do to me?
Oh, how about the usual?
You mean the tongs?
The tongs?
Like you did to your wife.
Oh, the thongs.
Yes, the leather tongs. You tie me up and then you do some degrading things, okay?
No. Fulvia, I told you, don't believe what those novelists write. They're all liars. Ow! Once I did degrading things once. Okay. It was all Desiree's idea.
There is no need for bourgeois hypocrisy here, Maurice. We must explore the limits without shame.
The limits, huh? Well, we've only got a night.
One night is enough. I must be exploited to be able to identify with the exploited, huh? Handcuff me, gag me.
Okay. All right, Fulvia, I'll handcuff you, I'll gag you, and I'll do degrading things to you. But first, can we just kiss?
A kiss?
Yeah, you remember kissing used to come between high and fucking.
That is the straw that broke the camel's back, Maurice. Tonight it is you who will be exploited.
I don't really want to be exploited, thank you.
Now relax. Enjoy yourself. Shall we start with this? Or this? Or perhaps the parachute?
Oh, yeah?
Ernesto.
Ernesto.
He must have decided to drive.
Ernesto.
Rough trip.
Brutto.
Oh, this is Maurice Zapp.
Dammi un minuto. Non vengo.
Bambino.
Hi.
What did he say?
He is just going to take a shower. Then he will join us. This will make it even more exciting. And now we take off those little panties, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that one of our tires burst on takeoff. Therefore, we shall be making an emergency landing at Heathrow, where fire engine services are standing by.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've received a request from a passenger for a public recitation of the Act of Contrition. Is there a priest on board who'd be willing to lead us in prayer? Wouldn't you know it? Never a priest around when you need one.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
What'll I do?
You'll have to say the Act of Contrition yourself.
I've forgotten it. I haven't been to confession since I went on the pill.
Oh, Moira, you never told me you're on the pill.
You do it, Bridget.
Oh, I couldn't.
Yes, you could. Didn't you tell me you were a child of Mary? Since there doesn't appear to be a priest on board, Stewardess Bridget O'Toole will lead us all in the Act of Contrition.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
I've gone blank. Well, say something. Any prayer you like.
For what we're about to receive, may the Lord make us truly grateful.
Praise be to God. We landed quite safely. But if we hadn't, at least I would have died laughing.
Sorry about the bus, sir.
Not a bit of it. You've given me back an appetite for life. And she had, too. I returned to my little chapel to thank God for giving me back my sense of humor, which, of course, proved to be the point of the entire trip. It was a message from Angelica. But what did it mean? What on earth was FQ? And then I twigged. Excuse me, do you have a copy of The Fairy Queen?
No, we don't stock any gay literature.
I had to get to a bookshop. After I gave Bernadette her money, I would go straight to Foyle's.
Hello there.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, bored. I prefer working on check-in. There's a lot more scope, especially on long-haul flights.
Cheryl, I'd love to stop and chat with you, but the fact is I'm in a tearing hurry. I have to get into London to find a book.
What book?
The Fairy Queen. I had to look up a reference urgently. It's a book of poetry.
I know.
Oh, God, love you. Well, that's what I call service. I'm going to write to Air International. I'll get you promoted.
Oh, no, don't do that. We're not supposed to read on duty.
Oh, damn. I've lost a bit of paper. Stanza 60-something. Which canto?
I used to read Mills and Boon, but they're not real romances, are they? They're just debased versions of the sentimental novel of courtship and marriage that started with Richardson's Pamela. Real romance is full of adventure and coincidence, and Howell has lots of surprises and marvels, and lots of characters who are lost or enchanted, or wandering about looking for each other, or for the Grail, or something like that.
The wanton maidens him espying stood, gazing a while at his unwanted guise. Then the one herself low ducked in the flood, abashed that her a stranger did avise. But the other rather higher did arise, and her two lily paps aloft displayed. Lily paps?
Pardon?
There are two girls, not one. Angelica and Lily. They must be sisters, twins. A modest one and a bold one.
I haven't got to that bit yet.
Oh, God bless you, Cheryl, for being in the right place at the right time with the right book. Oh, this is a great day for me, I can tell you. Sorry.
No. Since you're so grateful, could you answer a question?
What question's that?
Do you agree that in psychoanalytical terms, romance is the quest of a libido or desiring self for a fulfillment that will deliver it from the anxieties of reality, but will still contain that reality?
Cheryl, you're quoting Northrop Frye. Have you been going to night school since we last met?
Well, not exactly. Somebody told me about it. Him.
Somebody? Who?
A passenger. She noticed I was reading a Mills and Boon and said, "What are you reading that rubbish for?" Well, not in so many words. She wasn't rude about it. But she started to tell me all about the old romances and about how much more exciting and interesting they were. So I got her to write down the name of some books for me to get from the library, and The Fairy Queen was one of them, although, to be honest, I preferred Orlando Furioso.
Cheryl, this passenger, was her name Angelica Pabst?
Yes, it was!
When was it that you were speaking to her?
The last time was yesterday. She was flying to Geneva, but said she was going on to Lausanne.
Lausanne? The T.S. Eliot Conference?
You know her then?
Know her? I love her. What time's your next flight to Geneva?
I don't know.
Well, look it up for me, will you? Oh, did she happen to mention the name of a place that she was staying in Lausanne? The name of a hotel? Come on, Cheryl, you found the Fairy Queen for me faster than this. Oh, what's the matter, for the love of God? Is that 10:45? Great. Look, Cheryl, would you post this envelope for me? I'm off to the T.S. Eliot Conference in Lausanne. Michel Tardieu invited me after all.
Did he?
Yes, indeed, I had regained my appetite for life. I had saved Bernadette from a career of shame, and Angelica wasn't Lily. I met Philip on the plane to Geneva. In my new buoyancy, I forgave his self-absorption back in Amsterdam.
Merci. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Parkinson's piece seems even more favourable now it's in print.
The Observer and the Sunday Times are also good, apparently.
That's great. Must be a big plus for the UNESCO chair.
Yes, I'm out of that race. I was never really in it. It was just post-Bosphorus fever. Now it's back to the real world for me now. Boots and Tesco's and washing up. I'll never break out of rummage. There should be a new word. He's in a terrible rummage, poor sod. I don't know how I'm going to explain all this to Joy.
Well, at least you're going to see her again soon.
In about an hour. When we parted in Istanbul, we agreed to meet again in Lausanne, and it was all going to be so wonderful. Oh, God. And separation is fatal. When you find Angelica again, hang on to her for dear life.
Oh, God, I will.
My God!
Is it Joy?
No, it's Desiree. Desiree Zath. It's been 10 years.
Oh, since you had that affair with her at your barrack state.
Keep forgetting how much you know about me, Percy. Hello.
Hi. I was at this artist colony in New Hampshire, Mercy, completely blocked on my new book. And Alice, that's my agent, suggested I go to Europe. I've been invited to a conference in Heidelberg on reception synthetic.
Personally,
and
I find reception synthetic painfully dated.
Yeah, well, I thought once I'm in Heidelberg, I may as well go on to Lausanne and confront Morris about the twins' school fees he's refusing to pay, which would also help get out some of my anger, which is one of the reasons I'm blocked. Sasha and Doreen were both in favor, so I booked the trip.
Sasha and Doreen? Are those the twins?
What twins?
Your twins?
No, Sasha Brill and Doreen Rappaport. Sasha's my therapist, Doreen's my accountant. So, on paper, it looked great, and Heidelberg had its compensations. But Morris hasn't turned up in Lausanne.
Good God. I never finished his letter. Maybe still handcuffed in Fulvia Morgana's bedroom.
Excuse me.
He met an Italian with unusual sexual tastes.
I don't want to hear this.
Really? Fulvia? But she's a Marxist.
Morris's non-appearance, boys, has nothing to do with sex.
Then you know why Morris hasn't turned up.
This was waiting for me when I arrived at the Beau Rivage. Morris has been kidnapped.
Dealing with hard cases, tougher still when your private life becomes very public.
Some people in this country discriminate against gay people at work. We're trying to change that. That can only be for the good.
And that's easier said than done.
Yesterday, John Wayne. Today, the gay cavalier.
Should we go?
No, it's not on. I'm responsible for the boy, and I'm not risking leaving him with a...
Just come into my office with me, please.
Just keep your bloody hands off me.
Hard Cases, Monday at 9 on ITV.
Continuing our look at programmes for tomorrow night, there's comedy in the shape of a tale told by Eric Sykes. He's joined by a huge cast of comedy stars in Mr H is Late. That's at 8 o'clock. World in Action reports at 8:30 tomorrow night. And following Hard Cases, we have the news at 10 and regional headlines at 10:30. Our late film for this Monday night is The Human Factor. An electronics expert seeks the murderers of his wife and children. George Kennedy, John Mills and Rita Tushingham star in The Human Factor at 10:35 tomorrow night. And that's the lineup for programmes this Monday. Colin McCabe joins Melvyn Bragg for the South Bank Show next tonight in a couple of minutes.
I remember my driving test. My ego was more nervous than me. Well, wouldn't you be, up front in his position? What my ego needed was a boost. Chewy caramel and crisp toasted coconut under the bonnet. Milk chocolate bodywork by Cadbury. Ooh.
What's the matter, Batman? It's rush hour in Gotham City and the Batmobile is big. You mean... Yes, Robin, the Metro.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. You weren't kidding about the traffic, Batman.
Yep, lucky we've got the Metro.
This little flyer sure is great for these city streets, Batman.
And we're gonna make it to City Hall in plenty of time. Whoa! Curses, Batman! Gotcha, Penguin.
When you've got to pick up a penguin, Metro gets you going.
No matter what kind of home you live in, you can benefit from a remarkably efficient invention. A home heating system that's flexible enough to meet your needs exactly, yet can cost as little as £569 for a one-bedroom flat. It's a heating system that uses less than half-price electricity to give you continuous, controllable warmth and a whole tank full of piping hot water. It's not central heating, it's total heating. It runs only on electricity. Heat Electric, energy for life.
When was the last time you made a long business trip and your train had to stop for breakfast? Stop for you to do some work? Or stop to spend a penny? When did you last see a train with a puncture? Or a train get...
See young Atherton and his new